INFJs don't avoid drama because they're fragile. They avoid it because their nervous system holds emotional memories like ink on paper, permanent and vivid. When conflict erupts, most people walk away and forget. But an INFJ doesn't. Their intuition absorbs the emotional atmosphere. Their empathy absorbs the pain, and their body absorbs the stress. Long after the moment passes, they still feel the echo. A harsh tone becomes a memory. A heated argument becomes a physical weight. An emotional spike becomes something their mind replays at night. Drama overwhelms them because they experience it with every layer of their being. Mind, heart, and body. It's not avoidance, it's protection. They've lived through moments where emotional chaos left them shaking, drained, overstimulated, or unable to focus for hours. And with time, they learn to protect themselves from the kind of energy that lingers in their system far too long. Their empathy makes them absorb the emotional state of everyone in the room. Their intuition makes them sense tension before it happens. Their depth makes them process conflict in ways others never notice. So they withdraw early. They choose peace before the storm forms. They choose distance before they drown in someone else's emotional waves. Calm isn't a preference for an INFJ, it's the environment where their nervous system can finally breathe. Before you go, let me ask you something only the deep feelers will understand. Have you ever walked away from drama not because you were scared, but because your body couldn't hold one more emotional scar? If you watched until the end, comment, "I protect my energy." So I know you're one of the rare INFJ souls who understands this truth deeply. And make sure to subscribe to Brainy Quiet Mind, where your sensitivity is strength, your calm is sacred, and your inner world is finally understood. Drama overwhelms an INFJ's nervous system, triggering deep mental and emotional exhaustion. For an INFJ, drama isn't just a loud moment, it's an earthquake that shakes their entire inner world. Their nervous system absorbs emotional chaos with an intensity most people never experience. A single argument, a sharp tone, a charged atmosphere, it doesn't just pass through them, it hits them on every level. Their mind begins racing, their intuition spikes, their empathy goes into overdrive, and their body tightens as if bracing for impact. What looks like a simple conflict to others feels like a full emotional storm inside an INFJ. Their sensitivity is not weakness, it is depth. But that depth makes drama feel like a psychological overload they are forced to carry long after the noise stops. The exhaustion that follows is not just mental, it's emotional, physical, spiritual. Inside their mind, drama triggers a flood of analysis. They replay every word, every tone shift, every hidden emotion, desperately trying to understand the deeper meaning behind it. Their intuition, powerful and always active, begins scanning for patterns, motives, implications, and emotional undercurrents. Their empathy absorbs not just their own feelings, but the feelings of everyone involved. It is like carrying multiple emotional realities at once, and their nervous system strains under the weight. While others recover quickly, INFJs feel drained as if their inner batteries were suddenly pulled out. Conflict shakes their internal equilibrium, and the aftermath leaves them searching for silence just to find themselves again. Their body responds the same way their mind does, intensely. Their heartbeat changes, their muscles tense, their stomach tightens, and their breathing shifts. Drama triggers a sensory and emotional overload that doesn't go away when the conflict ends. It lingers in their system like emotional residue. They can feel exhausted for hours, days even, because their nervous system holds on to the emotional shock. This is why INFJs often withdraw after conflict. It's not avoidance, it's recovery. They need time to regulate their nervous system, to decompress, to let their heart settle and their mind stop racing. They need space to breathe without absorbing more emotional noise. This overwhelming response is what makes INFJs fiercely protective of their peace. They know the cost of drama, how it disrupts their balance, drains their energy, and clouds their intuition. So they choose harmony, quiet, and stability, not because they fear conflict, but because they feel it too deeply to take lightly. Drama hits an INFJ like a storm that keeps echoing inside them long after the thunder ends. And peace becomes the shelter where they can finally rest, reset, and rebuild their inner world. They absorb tension instantly. Tone shifts, emotional spikes, hidden conflict hit them harder than others. INFJs don't need shouting or chaos to sense that something is wrong. Their entire system reacts to tension the moment it appears. A slight change in someone's tone, a hesitation in their voice, a forced smile, a shift in body language, these tiny signals hit an INFJ like emotional lightning. Their intuition picks up the energy, their empathy absorbs the mood, and their nervous system responds as if a storm is already underway. Long before conflict becomes visible to anyone else, an INFJ is already feeling it internally. It's not imagination, it's sensitivity. Their emotional radar is so finely tuned that even the smallest disruption feels like a warning bell ringing inside their mind. Inside them, this sensitivity creates an immediate emotional ripple. If someone in the room becomes irritated, sad, tense, or withdrawn, the INFJ feels it instantly, not as an observation, but as a vibration that enters their own emotional space. What others overlook, they internalize. What others brush off, they feel in their chest, their breath, their thoughts. Hidden conflict doesn't stay hidden from them. It settles into their awareness with a heaviness that's impossible to ignore. Emotional spikes hit them like sudden waves, even if they weren't directly involved. Tone shifts feel like energy shifts, and their body responds before their mind even has time to process it. This is why INFJs often know something is wrong, even when no one has said a single word. This instant absorption isn't something they control, it's their wiring. Their empathy acts like a sponge, soaking up emotional currents around them. Their intuition acts like a spotlight, illuminating the truth beneath the surface. And their nervous system reacts as if every emotional shift is a signal they must decode. This sensitivity makes them deeply connected to others, but it also makes emotional tension physically taxing. A single moment of hidden conflict can leave them feeling unsettled for hours. A sharp tone can linger in their mind long after the conversation ends. Emotional spikes feel like impacts, subtle but powerful, invisible but unforgettable. And because they feel tension so intensely, INFJs learn to step back early. They distance themselves before conflict erupts. They shift into silence to protect their inner world. They retreat not because they are weak, but because they know how much it will cost them if they stay. Calm is their protection, distance is their recovery, and awareness is their survival. INFJs don't avoid drama because they are afraid of tension. They avoid it because they feel its effects long before anyone else even senses a problem. Their sensitivity is their strength, but it is also the reason they guard their peace with so much quiet determination. Their body stores stress from conflict, replaying it long after the moment has ended. For an INFJ, conflict doesn't end when the conversation stops. It lives inside them like an emotional echo that refuses to fade. Their body remembers every detail, the shift in someone's voice, the sharpness of a word, the heaviness in the air. Even after the situation is resolved, their nervous system continues replaying the moment, trying to make sense of it, trying to soothe itself, trying to understand what went wrong. While others move on quickly, an INFJ is still carrying the emotional weight hours, sometimes days later. Their chest stays tight, their breathing remains shallow, and their mind loops the memory like a film stuck on repeat. It's not overthinking, it's the body holding onto stress it hasn't had time to release. Inside an INFJ, conflict is not just mental, it is physical. Their shoulders tense without them noticing. Their stomach knots. Their heartbeat shifts. Their entire system reacts as if it's still inside the confrontation, even when the external world has already returned to calm. This is because INFJs don't just experience conflict, they absorb it. Their empathy pulls in the emotions of everyone involved, and their intuition analyzes the deeper layers of the situation, leaving their body overwhelmed by the emotional complexity. They may look calm on the outside, but inside their nervous system is replaying every moment, trying to file it away neatly so they can finally rest. Only for them, rest doesn't come quickly. And because their body stores stress so powerfully, INFJs need more time to recover after conflict. They withdraw into silence, not to avoid responsibility, but to let their mind and body settle. They seek solitude because it's the only place where their heartbeat slows, their thoughts untangle, and their nervous system begins to release the emotional residue. A single argument can drain them of energy. A sharp tone can echo in their chest for hours. A heated environment can leave them overstimulated long after they leave the room. Their recovery is slow because their depth is vast and their nervous system processes conflict on a level most people never see. This is why INFJs are so protective of their peace. They know that conflict doesn't end with the last word spoken, not for them. It lingers, sits heavy, stays alive inside the body until they've had enough quiet to let it fade. Their sensitivity makes them compassionate, intuitive, insightful, but it also means they cannot simply move on the way others can. They need space to heal, calm to reset, and emotional safety to release what their body continues to hold. Their avoidance of drama isn't fear, it's wisdom born from a lifetime of carrying emotional storms long after the sky has cleared. Their intuition warns them early, allowing them to sense drama before it even unfolds. INFJs possess an intuition so sharp, so deeply attuned, that emotional storms rarely catch them by surprise. Long before conflict erupts, their inner radar begins to hum. They sense the shift in someone's energy, the tightening in the air, the subtle change in emotional temperature that signals something is coming, a slightly forced smile, a hesitation in someone's voice, an unspoken tension hanging beneath casual words. These cues are invisible to most people, but not to an INFJ. Their intuition picks up the smallest signals, assembling them like puzzle pieces into a clear warning. Drama is approaching. This early awareness is not magic, it's sensitivity refined by experience, empathy sharpened by depth, and pattern recognition born from paying close attention to the emotional world around them. Inside an INFJ, this intuitive warning system functions like a quiet alarm. Their body reacts before their mind even forms a clear explanation. A heaviness in the chest, a shift in their mood, a sudden urge to withdraw. Their intuition speaks to them through sensations, emotions, and subtle knowing. They don't always have the words to explain why something feels wrong, they just know it does. And more often than not, their inner signal is right. Drama doesn't need to be loud or obvious for them to feel its arrival. They sense the friction beneath polite conversations, the hidden resentment beneath laughter, the emotional imbalance beneath perfectly chosen words. Their intuition sees what the eyes cannot. This early warning gives INFJs the chance to create distance before emotional chaos hits. They step back from the conversation, soften their presence, or quietly detach. They avoid reacting impulsively, choosing instead to observe and protect their energy. Others may see this as withdrawal or oversensitivity, but for an INFJ, it is strategy, emotional self-defense. Their intuition helps them avoid unnecessary conflict, draining arguments, and explosive situations that would overwhelm their nervous system. They don't need drama to unfold to know it's coming. They feel it long before it breaks the surface. And because they sense drama early, INFJs often end up being the calmest people in the room, not because they don't feel tension, but because they felt it first and adjusted accordingly. Their intuition acts as a compass, guiding them away from emotional danger and toward safety. It's why they trust their gut so fiercely, because life has shown them its accuracy countless times. Their early awareness is not paranoia, it's protection. It's the invisible shield that guards their peace before the storm ever appears. They protect their peace fiercely because conflict disrupts their emotional balance for days. For INFJs, peace is not simply a preference, it is the foundation that holds their entire inner world together. The moment conflict enters their life, everything inside them shifts. Their thoughts scatter, their nervous system tightens, their intuition heightens, and their emotional balance becomes fragile. A single argument, even a mild disagreement, can echo inside them long after the situation has ended. They don't bounce back quickly the way others do. Their internal world absorbs every emotion, every tone, every implication, and it takes days for their mind and body to fully return to calm. This is why they guard their peace with such unwavering commitment, because they know exactly how long it takes to recover once conflict disturbs it. Inside an INFJ, emotional balance is delicate but powerful. When they are grounded, they think clearly, love deeply, and contribute meaningfully. Their empathy flows freely, their intuition sharpens, and their creativity thrives. But conflict throws all of this off center. Their mind starts replaying the argument, analyzing each detail, questioning what they could have done differently. Their heart feels heavy, burdened by emotional residue that doesn't simply disappear. Their body stays tense, storing stress as if preparing for more. Even after the external world has moved on, their inner world is still processing, still healing, still trying to find equilibrium. This slow recovery isn't weakness, it's the cost of feeling life with such intensity. Because of this, INFJs become fierce guardians of their emotional environment. They step back from people who thrive on chaos. They detach from relationships filled with tension. They avoid conversations that feel aggressive or unproductive. They know that protecting their peace is not selfish, it is essential. Without peace, they cannot function at their full emotional intelligence. Without calm, their sensitivity turns into overwhelm. Without stability, their compassion becomes exhaustion, so they choose peace again and again, even if others misunderstand it. They'd rather lose a relationship than lose their inner balance. They'd rather disappoint someone else than abandon themselves. And once an INFJ truly understands how deeply conflict affects them, they stop apologizing for avoiding it. They stop explaining why they need space, why they pull away, why they prefer distance over confrontation. They protect their inner calm because they've learned the hard way that once conflict breaks their balance, it can take days to rebuild. Guarding their peace isn't avoidance, it's survival. It's how they remain whole in a world that often crashes through emotional boundaries without noticing. Peace is their anchor, their medicine, their sanctuary, and they will defend it with quiet strength, no matter who doesn't understand. Calm environments help them recharge, realign, and reconnect with their inner world. For INFJs, calm isn't just a mood, it's medicine. It's the oxygen their nervous system needs after absorbing too much emotion, too much noise, too many invisible responsibilities from the world around them. When they step into a quiet space, something inside them finally exhales. Their mind, which has been running in 10 directions at once, begins to slow. Their intuition, which has been scanning every emotional detail around them, begins to soften. Their empathy, which has been carrying the weight of everyone else's feelings, finally sets that weight down. Calm environments don't just feel good to an INFJ. They restore them. They help them recharge the emotional batteries that conflict, chaos, and overstimulation deplete so easily. Inside calm spaces, their inner world realigns itself piece by piece. Thoughts that were tangled begin to unravel. Feelings that were overwhelming begin to make sense. Their vision clears, their creativity awakens, and their emotional balance returns. Silence is not empty for them, it's full of reflection, clarity, healing, and meaning. A quiet room, a soft sunset, a peaceful walk, or simply being alone with their thoughts allows them to reconnect with the person they are beneath the noise. Calmness helps them remember their values, their purpose, their intuition. In peaceful environments, their mind becomes sharp again, their heart becomes open again, and their spirit becomes steady again. It's in these moments that they feel most themselves, grounded, aware, and deeply aligned. But it goes deeper. Calm environments allow INFJs to hear their own inner voice, the one that gets drowned out when life becomes too loud. They reconnect with their dreams, their boundaries, their emotional truths. They process what hurt them, what inspired them, what they need to change, and what they need to protect. Calm spaces become sacred to them, not because they fear the world, but because they feel it so intensely that they need quiet to filter through everything they've taken in. Their inner world is rich, complex, and constantly active, and without calm, it becomes chaotic. Peace brings order to their inner universe, allowing them to function with empathy instead of exhaustion, intuition instead of overwhelm, and clarity instead of confusion. This is why INFJs seek environments that feel gentle, why they prefer soft conversations over loud debates, meaningful connections over chaotic crowds, and slow, intentional moments over rushed interactions. Calm doesn't make them passive, it makes them powerful. Peace doesn't make them avoidant, it makes them whole. In calm spaces, they recharge their energy, rebuild their balance, and return to the world with strength instead of depletion. Calm environments aren't optional for INFJs, they're essential. They are the sanctuary where their nervous system heals, their mind resets, and their soul comes back home. In the end, INFJs don't avoid drama because they're fragile. They avoid it because their inner world feels every emotional tremor long after the moment has passed. Their nervous system remembers what others forget. Their heart holds on to energy most people never even notice. And their mind replays tension as if it were written in permanent ink. So they choose calm like a lifeline. They choose peace like a promise to themselves. They choose stability because it allows them to stay whole in a world that often shakes them to their core. Protecting their energy isn't running away, it's coming home to themselves. Before you go, let me ask you something only the deeply sensitive will understand. Have you ever protected your peace not because you wanted distance, but because your soul couldn't afford another emotional storm? If you watched until the end, comment, "I protect my peace, so I know you're one of the rare INFJ hearts who truly feels this." And don't forget to subscribe to Brainy Quiet Mind, where your sensitivity is honored, your depth is understood, and your quiet strength is celebrated.